Hey everybody, I'm Helen. Welcome to today's class. Today's class will be a short beginner level yoga class to help release trapped emotions in the body. They say we store our issues in our tissues, and I believe it's true. If we're feeling pretty tense and stressed and emotional, you may find a gripping in your hips, in your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. In women, it's known as the emotional triangle, this area here. So today's class will be moving through some moves that will open the shoulders and the upper body and get a little bit of relief to the lower body as well. You probably won't need any props. I've got a block handy just in case I need it. But other than that, we're going to start with what is known as the 3-part Daoist breath. I'm sitting on my heels. You can have a blanket sit on that if you find this a bit challenging. And this is a great breath to do to help open and release the upper body. We'll start with the fingertips just by the side. Lift the shoulders up and then release them down to the earth as you exhale. On an inhale, the arms come up to the sky. And as you exhale, cross the hands behind the head and they come out to the side, pushing as if you're pushing apart two walls. Flip the palms and bring the fingertips to the shoulders, maybe looking up as you inhale, and as you exhale, rounding through the upper body and pushing forward like you're moving through treacle. Flipping the palms, bringing them up to the sky into this stretch from the waist, and as you exhale, coming forward into a child's pose, using the strength of the core to help release the body down. We don't stay here. The elbows move back towards the hips and we start all over again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bringing the hands behind the head and pushing out to the side. Flipping the palms, fingertips to the shoulders, chest up. Exhale, rounding through the upper back, pushing forward. Flipping the palms, coming up to the sky. As you exhale, folding forward from the hip crease into this child's pose briefly, bringing the elbows back by the hips, and we start all over again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crossing the hands behind the back and pushing out to the side. Inhale, fingertips to shoulders, chest lift. Exhale, round in the upper back, pushing forward. Flip the palms, inhale up to the sky. Exhale, folding forward from the hip crease into this brief child's pose. Elbows back by the hips. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, crossing the hands behind, pushing out. Inhale, fingertips to shoulders, lifting the chest to the sky. Exhale, round in the upper body, pushing forward through treacle. Flipping the palms up to the sky. And exhale, folding forward into this brief child's pose. Elbows come back by the hips. And last time round, inhale, lift. Exhale, push out to the side. Inhale, fingertips to shoulders, heart lifts. Exhale, round in through the spine, pushing forward. Inhale, flip the palms up to the sky. Exhale, coming forward into this child's pose. Inhale, elbows come back by the sides, and we just lift up into one more inhale, and then palms through the chest, maybe bringing them down into the lap, closing the eyes. Sitting for a moment here, observing how the upper body feels. Maybe you feel pretty energized. All that prana, the energy that we generate through our breath, tingling through the body. Maybe you have a wonderful sense of freedom, alleviating some tension and stiffness. This is a great breath to practice daily. Really helps bring some freedom into the upper body. Just sitting with yourself, noticing sensations, noticing the mind. And then if you haven't already, slowly open the eyes. Excellent. On an inhale, bring the right fingertips outside the right hip. Inhale the left arm up, leaning over to the side, maybe planting this hand, working on the side plane here. And then down over to the other side on an inhale. You can keep the head looking forward or looking down, whatever feels good in your body. Come back up. This time inhale both arms up to the sky, and as you exhale, rotate round to the right. So the left hand coming outside the right knee, maybe the right fingertips come behind. Tall spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, a rotation. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Breathing into the twist. And as you inhale, come back to center, and we go over to the other side. Tall spine, rotating maybe 1 millimeter more as you exhale. Then inhale back up the midline, and we'll come over onto hands and knees. You might need to just stretch out these legs a bit, tucking one foot under and just rocking backwards and forwards on the ball of the foot, getting the blood circulating again. After that kneeling position, and then the other side. Breathing deep. Then come to settle in hands and knees. Taking the left foot, I'm going to externally rotate this left hip, and the left toes come outside the left side of the mat. You can tuck the right toes under and slowly start to sit back towards this right heel. You should feel a pretty intense stretch in this left hip. Range of motion will dictate how low you come. Be happy with where your body is, and then come back up. And we'll sit back again. Breathing into the stretch. Opening the right foot here and come back up. One more, sitting back into this hip joint, relaxing the shoulders. Come back up, bring the knee back to neutral, and we'll do the other side. Externally rotating this right thigh, toes come outside the mat. Tuck the left toes under, and then we sit back into this hip, feeling it in the right outer hip. This side feels pretty different to the other side for me. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, sit back. Breathing into the stretch. Come back up. And sit back again. Then come back up and return to hands and knees. Move the hands about one handprint in front of the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Seat comes up. Downward facing dog. Start to pedal out the feet one by one. Opening the backs of the legs, the calves, the backs of the knees, the quads, the hamstrings. Just feeling into the body. Equal weight in the base of the knuckles. Upper back is wide. Ears between the biceps. The lower belly is scooped in. Sit bones to the sky. And grounding down into the right foot, equal weight in both hands. On an inhale, left leg lifts to the sky, and we'll open the hip. So the knee is pointing upwards and you're like a scorpion tail. Make it a conscious effort to keep the shoulders parallel to the floor. Opening from this hip joint. Feeling the stretch. Maybe the right heel is grounded. Maybe not. The transition from here will be into a figure 4 using this left leg. Neutralize the hips, then bringing this left leg under, hooking it on top of the right thigh in a figure 4. Consciously using muscle engagement to open this left hip, grounding down into the hands, and then very gently start to bend this right knee and bring the knee down to the earth. So you have this figure 4 leg in front of the knee. You can release the top of the right foot down to the earth. We'll do a couple of rounds of cat-cow here. So dip in the belly and lift in the chest. And then as you exhale, round in the spine, tuck in the tailbone, retract in the shoulder blades, and then reverse it as you inhale. The chest lifts, the belly dips. Then round in the lower spine, curling in on the body. One more of these. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Return to neutral. Tuck the right toes, using the strength of the right leg, maybe lifting back up into this figure 4 dog. Release the left leg straight up to the sky and release back down, downward facing dog. Take a free breath here, and then we'll move to the second side. On an inhale, right leg lifts to the sky, bend the knee, stack the hips, and open in this scorpion tail. Knees to the sky. Imagine that your right foot can touch your left shoulder blade, keeping the shoulders parallel to the earth, open in the hips. Breathing into the stretch. Maybe the left foot is flat to the earth. And from here, the transition is into that figure 4 shape with the right leg. Neutralizing the hips, then bringing the right leg forward and hooking the ankle in front of the right thigh. Using the strength of the right hip to open it into this external rotation, and from here coming up maybe onto the ball of the left foot, bend in the knee, and slowly descending down to the earth into this tabletop shape with a crooked right leg. Release the top of the left foot to the floor, and on an inhale we come through cow, lift in the chest, dip in the belly, and exhale, rounding round down into this cat shape. 2 more. Inhale, lift to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, lift to cow. Exhale to cat. Tuck the left toes. And using the strength of this left leg, we push back to this figure 4 dog. And then release the right leg up to the sky, stretching it out. And then back to downward facing dog. Wonderful. Take a free breath here. And we'll move on. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, left foot steps up, low lunge. You may need to manually get it there. Coming on to the fingertips maybe. Consciously pulling this left hip back, right hip forward, trying to keep the hips parallel to the earth. Lengthening it out of the waist. Breathing here. And from here, plant into the right hand. We'll open the left arm up to the sky for a low lunge twist. Stacking the shoulders, imagining the arms getting pulled apart. And from here, bringing the left hand behind the head. So the left elbow is to the sky. You might want to just step the left foot to the left slightly. Using the left elbow as if it's a paintbrush, you come down and paint the inside of your left shin down to the ankle, and then up again. 2 more of these. Painting the inside of the leg. Using the breath. And up. 1 more. Come down and paint. And inhale back up to the sky. Lift the arm up. Plant the hand. From here, the right leg steps forward and come into yogi squat, Malasana. Sitting down deep into the hips. You can use a block to sit on here. You can have something under your heels to support them if they're not flat to the earth. Chest is lifted, pushing into the inner legs with the elbows and vice versa, using the strength of the hips and the inner thighs to crush your elbows. Tall spine. From here, ground down into the earth, engage the core, and we'll be standing up using the strength of the legs, coming all the way up to standing. Tall spine, hands to the sky, and then sitting back down into the hips. We'll come out of this the way we got in, planting the hands, lifting the seat, stepping the right leg back, so we're back in this left-legged lunge, and then step back, downward facing dog. Take a free breath. And then same procedure, second side. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps up between the hands, coming into this low lunge, maybe on the fingertips, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward, hips parallel to the earth, planting the left hand underneath the left shoulder. Inhale the right arm up to the sky for a low lunge twist. The twist is coming from the spine and not from the hips, making a conscious effort to keep them facing the floor. For me, that is a constant battle. You can look up at the top hand if you like. And from here, maybe shuffle the right foot out slightly. Right hand comes to the right side of the head, right elbow to the sky. This time the paintbrush is on the right elbow. We come down and paint the inside of the leg down to the ankle, and then up again. Slow, mindful movements. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Last one, exhale down. Inhale, lift. Release the arm back up to the sky. Hand plants, and this left leg or foot will step forward for Malasana again. Coming down deep into this seat. Spine is tall, crown to the sky. Pushing those elbows into the thighs and vice versa. Enjoy in this pose. Remember, you can be up here. You can be sitting on a block. Anything that feels good for your body. Grounding down into both feet, we will stand up again. Engage in the core, shooting up to the sky, full body stretch. Then back down to the earth. Coming out the way we went in, planting the hands, lifting the hips. This time the left foot steps back. We're in a right-legged lunge. And then the right foot steps back, downward facing dog. From here, we'll make our way onto the seat. You can look forward, come onto the tiptoes, walk all the way up, and then take a seat. We'll come into staff pose, Dandasana. And we'll do a couple of dynamic Janushirsasanas. Sitting on the sit bones, spine is tall. We'll start by bringing the left leg in. So the heel actually goes in the groin, and the top, well, I was going to say the top part, the bottom of the foot. That doesn't make sense. This end of the foot, the toe end, is pressing into the inner thigh, and the heel is in the groin. Lengthening out of the waist. And Janushirasana is actually a slight twist. Rotating the body around to the right. We come forward, doesn't matter how far. Then we come up, come back on the hands, and switch sides. Heel is in the groin, toes are touching the inside of the leg, and we come forward. Just start to move through this with the breath. Maybe we can do it without using the hands. If you need to use the hands to maneuver the legs into this position, that's perfectly acceptable. Not worrying what it looks like, just noticing how it feels in the body. This is great for releasing the hips, moving with the breath. Feels pretty nice. You may find as you move through this, you get a little bit more freedom, you come a little bit further forward, trying to keep the spine long, folding from the hip crease, belly coming to the thigh. You can even get into some kind of meditative zone doing this, letting the body move intuitively. And then this will be the last one we started on that side, so we'll finish with the left leg extended. And then just come back to staff pose and sit for a moment, noticing how you feel, maybe closing the eyes. When we shut off one of our senses, it really helps us focus the mind, tune in. I do this a lot. If I'm driving and I'm trying to concentrate, I'll turn the music down as if it helps me see better and think better. It does work. And from here, we'll slowly make our way down onto the back, setting up for a bridge pose, bringing the feet underneath the knees. Feet are hip distance apart. The upper back is wide and the shoulders are relaxed. Maybe the palms are face down on the earth. And on an inhale, curling up from the lower spine, we come into a bridge, opening the fronts of the hips. This is a great release after that Savasana session. Imagining the tailbone is moving towards the backs of the knees, grounding down into the base of the feet, noticing the connection. Taking a few breaths, relaxing the jaw. As you exhale, slowly releasing the hips down, back to the earth, one vertebra at a time. Taking the left leg, externally rotate the leg, hook the foot over the right thigh into a figure 4 shape. Bring the arms to a cactus with the backs of the hands on the floor, gluing down the shoulders, and then allowing the whole of the lower body, keeping this figure 4 shape, to fall over to the right. So your left foot should come to the earth and the knees pointing up to the sky. This is a variation of a reclined twist. Feels pretty good. This is good for the hips. Trying to keep both shoulders on the floor. And when we do that, that means that the twist is actually coming from the spine. If you like, you can look over the left shoulder, if that feels good in the neck. Inhale back to center. Release the left leg, and we'll do the other side. Externally rotate the right thigh. Hook the right ankle on top of the left leg, the left thigh. Then allow gently the lower body to fall over to the left. Right foot comes to the earth, right knee to the sky. Maybe look over the right shoulder. Breathing deeply. Noticing where you can feel a stretch. Maybe sending the breath there. Tell that part of the body that it's okay to relax and let go. A lot of this tension we have is a bracing in the body, like a protection mechanism, put in place by our nervous system. So when we feel stressed, we can feel so much tension in our body. I used to be extremely stressed, and it can take such a long time to just unravel all the knots that we subconsciously put in place in our tissues. Slowly come back to the center. Bring the knees in one by one to the chest. Spread the knees apart so they're facing the respective armpits. Feet go up to the sky. Grab the outer edges of the feet for a happy baby. If your feet are not within your reach, you can always just hold the backs of the thighs. It's exactly the same posture. Bringing the knees down towards the armpits. Keeping the entire length of the spine on the floor. This is a deep compression of the hip joint. It feels so good. And then from here, when you're ready, just slowly release the legs one by one. We'll come into a relaxation, allowing the feet to just flop open. Palms face up to the sky by the hips. Shoulders are released down the back. The back of the neck is long and the chin is slightly tucked. Eyes are closed. Relaxing every muscle in the body. Letting go, surrendering, descending, melting into the earth. Savasana. Start to tune the ear in to the furthest away sound that you can hear. And then to the closest sound. Bring some movement into the fingers and toes. Maybe roll in the leg bones, in the hip sockets. Stretching the arms overhead. Folding the palms inside out. Toes in the opposite direction. And when you're ready, bringing the knees in one by one and rolling onto your favorite side. Surrendering here for a moment. Then when it feels good for you, gently pushing up to a comfortable seat. If you can, keep the eyes closed. Tall spine, palms face down on the knees to represent grounding. Crown to the sky. Bring the palms to the chest, thumbs at the sternum. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Hope your body feels freer than when you started. Some freedom in the shoulders and upper body. It's a little bit of freedom in the hips. Thank you for practicing with me, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that class and you're feeling a little bit of freedom in your body. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about joint health and keeping mobile and free as you move and as you get older, I do have a joint health guide. I'll put the link below this video. It's totally free, and it gives you lots of really good information about how you can keep mobile as you progress through life. Thank you again, and I will see you soon.